Beneath the vault, the hollow core, darkness swallowed Zero and Elena as they descended through the fractured vault floor. Faint bioluminescent veins in the stone walls pulsed with a heartbeat-like rhythm, guiding their path deeper into the heart of the monolith. A low hum resonated through the chamber walls, alive, ancient, and watching. Zero pulled Elena to her feet. Still breathing. Barely, she replied, shaking off dust and blood, but we're in deeper than we've ever gone. They stepped into a chamber unlike anything they'd seen. Towering Malien constructs lined the walls, massive skeletal machines frozen mid-activation. In the center stood a throne of living metal, and on it sat a figure. Not Delta, not Alpha, a being older. Its body was cracked like old stone, its eyes glowing with molten light. It opened its mouth, not to speak, but to scream. The walls shook. The vault responded. Parallax. Final stand above the monolith. The parallax reeled as spatial distortions battered its shields. Nix gripped the console, blood streaming from a head wound, shouting over the comms. We've lost contact with Zero and Elena. The vault's collapsing inward. Vrax stepped onto the bridge, his armor scorched from battle. Pull the strike team. We're not losing the whole crew to this insanity. No, Nix said firmly. If they're still alive, we don't abandon them. We hold this position. From the viewport, the stars themselves began to warp. A new fleet emerged from subspace, Malien vessels, but twisted, corrupted. Their hulls oozed with shadow as if something had infected them from within. The void spawn, Nix muttered. Delta's final weapon. The return of Omega Tau. Far from the chaos, Omega Tau stood at the edge of the solar system, aboard a sleek vessel of unknown origin. Her silver eyes flickered as she interfaced with remnants of Evelyn's fragmented AI. Coordinates confirmed, the AI whispered. The vault has been breached. Omega Tau narrowed her eyes. And the progenitor? Awakening. Without hesitation, she activated the ship's hyperfold. Space split open and she vanished, heading toward the monolith. Delta Ascendant. Deep inside the vault's apex chamber, Delta stood before a massive construct, half machine, half cosmic entity, connected to the prime Maliens by tendrils of black energy. His voice echoed with reverence and madness. You were the first. You were the dream before the corruption of genetics and morals. The entity pulsed. You seek to replace your creators. I seek to finish what they feared to complete, Delta whispered, and no one will stop me. He turned to the window overlooking the chaos. The vault was now pulsing like a second star. Tendrils of power reached toward the edges of the system. Across the galaxy, sleeper nodes activated. The final phase had begun. Zero's vision. Back beneath the vault, Zero and Elena stared at the ancient being, its eyes bleeding starlight. It finally spoke, its voice a tremor in their minds. You are not the first to come. You will not be the last, but you may be the only ones who choose. Images poured into Zero's mind, visions of the Maliens' birth, the betrayal of the original creators, the awakening of the void itself. He saw Alpha, Delta, Evelyn, and even Omega Tau, all pieces of a war started not by greed or power, but by fear of the unknown, and at the center of it all, a singular force, the void entity, the true mind behind the vault. Zero collapsed, clutching his head. Elena helped him up. What did it show you? She asked. That this war was never about domination, he said. It was about preventing something worse from waking up. Battle above the monolith. The parallax's shields flickered. The void spawn ships released swarms of biomechanical horrors that slammed into the hull. Vrax led the counter-assault, slicing through the creatures with primal rage. One of the creatures tore into the hull, dragging a soldier out into space. Nyx screamed through the comms. "We can't hold them off much longer." Suddenly, a burst of silver light cut through the void. Omega Tau's vessel emerged from hyperspace, sleek and silent. With a thought, she deployed shimmering drones that carved through the enemy swarm. Her presence shifted the battle. On the comms, "I'm here for the artifact. Cover me." Reunion in the deep. Elena and Zero, guided by the ancient being, discovered a narrow passage leading upward. A platform awaited, pulsing with light. As they stepped onto it, a blinding beam enveloped them. They emerged in the vault's control chamber, where Delta now stood, his back to them, facing the void core. He spoke without turning. "You finally made it. In time to witness the birth of a new order." Zero raised his weapon. "You're not a god, Delta. You're a consequence." Delta turned, smiling. "And you? You're already forgotten." The shattering. As Delta stepped forward, Omega Tau appeared behind him in a flash of energy. She threw a silver spear. Delta deflected it mid-air, the impact sending tremors through the chamber. The void core behind him cracked. Energy surged outward. From above, the ceiling collapsed. Vrax crashed down in a drop pod, roaring with fury. "Did I miss the party?" The battle began. Delta versus Zero, Elena, Omega Tau, and Vrax. Power clashed with power. Weapons failed. Bones cracked. Each move was desperate, primal. At the height of the clash, Delta stabbed his hand into the vault's control node. The ground shattered. He screamed, "If I fall, the void falls with me." The chamber began collapsing. Energy spiraled out of control. Cliffhanger, the final choice. As everything crumbled, the ancient being reappeared in a final projection. It stared at Elena. "The vault must be sealed. One of you must remain to activate the lock. This is the price of survival." The crew exchanged horrified glances. Zero stepped forward, but Elena stopped him. "Number it has to be me." Suddenly, Delta laughed, even as his body dissolved in the core. "You think sealing this place will stop what's coming? The vault was just the beginning." Omega Tau turned to the collapsing rift, her voice cold. "Then we'll be ready." Elena placed her hand on the panel. Light engulfed her. The vault began to collapse inward, sealing, folding space upon itself. The others escaped through Omega Tau's ship. As they looked back, the monolith imploded into a singularity. But in its wake, something remained, floating, watching. A single eye, blinking open,